So in this section, we're going to be talking about subqueries. Subqueries sounds complex, but don't let it faze you. At the end of this session or our discussion of subqueries, we would be able to use subqueries in more complex querying. So we've dealt with the simpler querying where we use our select column name from a particular table, and it's all fun, right? Well, this takes us to the complex bit, right? But it's not that complex once we get the basics. And we should also be able to use operators like the in, exists, between, and any, etc. at the end of this discussion on subqueries. So let's jump right into it. What are subqueries? Now, a subquery really is an inner query or a nested query, right? And in layman term, what this means is that we have a query, right? But then we have another query inside that query, right? So that's two queries. One is called the main query, and that's the normal query, right? Then one is called the subquery, and that's the inner query, the query we put inside another query, right? Now there are three different scenarios where we can have subqueries. We can have subqueries in the select statements, right? And we'll be looking at all three scenarios, so don't fret. We can also have subqueries after the from keyword, and we can have subqueries in a where clause. Talked about where clause. So let's go into pgadmin and let's start with the first scenario, and that's where we are going to try out the subqueries in the select statement, right? We're going to try the first scenario. So let's jump right into pgadmin. So I'm in pgadmin now, right? And we are going to be using, for our discussions on subqueries, we're going to be using our pizza sales database that we created. Now let's look at what is in our table. Remember, to get to our tables, we go to schema and then we find tables, right? I just scroll up. So we have 4 tables, right? Order details, orders, pizza types, and pizzas. So before we start, let's just inspect our tables and let's see what's in them. So very simple. We select from what's our first table, order details, right? Order details. I have that option here. I want to select everything, so say select star, right? And we will run this. So this is what we have in our order details table. We have order details ID, order ID, pizza ID, and quantity. So this is our primary key, right? Order details. This is order 1. This is pizza ID, the pizza the person bought, and how many the person bought. Let's check other tables. I'll just try out one more. I'll check the orders table, or on your own you could also check and inspect the orders, right? And I'm going to run this as well, and I can see I have order ID, my date, and my time. Now let's talk about subqueries. I'm going to clear this up. Now subqueries, I'm creating a comment. So subqueries query. And for scenario 1, right? Scenario 1, and that's for subqueries in the select statement. So queries in the select statement. Now I'm going to just teach us the syntax. It's very simple, right? It's just our usual select statement, right? So I'm selecting. So let me comment it out just to teach us the syntax, right? So I'm going to just use the multi-line comments. Escape. Multi-line comments. I'm just going to close it. So let's type in our select statement. So it's just going to be select. Remember, we are selecting from, and this is just a syntax from table name. So table name, I don't have anything called table name. This is just me trying to show us how to do a subquery in a select statement, right? So star, I'm just going to close my comments here. Star and slash. So this is not a code, it's a comment. Remember, this is a single line comment. How we start a single line comment, 2 dashes. For a multiple line comment is slash star, and then when you close it is star slash. Everything within these comments will not be run as code. So it's going to be column name, column 1, so column name 1, comma, column name 2, comma, then I would have my subquery. So this is the syntax. If we look here, select from my table, right? Just as we've been doing, my column, whatever column I want, and then my subquery, right? And we'll do a practical example now. So let's say we are given a task, right, to write a query that would create a table, right? So the query that creates a table that shows pizza ID, size, price, pizza price, and the average pizza price. Average pizza price. How would we go about that now? Because I'm familiar with these tables, I know I can find it in the pizzas table, right? I know if I check. So let's query the pizzas table. Let me scroll up. Let's query the pizzas table. So we select, let's see what's in pizzas. Select stuff from pizzas. Right, that's one of my tables here, the 4th table. Now, if I run this, right? If I run this, I can see I have pizza ID, which is part of my question. I want pizza ID. I have size, right? I have price. So for each pizza ID, the price is there. I have price. But then I want average pizza price as a 4th column. Now, how do I get average pizza price? We can find average pizza price by, if I want the average pizza price, that will take all the price in this table and find the average, right? So if I do this and I say select average, which we've talked about, average price, right? As I say as average, just aliasing pizza price, right? If I run this, I can see that my average pizza price is 16.440. So that's the average price, taking all those pizzas into consideration. This is the average price now. But this is not what I want. The question says I should create a table that shows pizza ID, size, price, average pizza price. So this is my subquery that is going to produce the average pizza price, right? Pizza ID comes directly, we have that directly. Size, we have that directly from the table. Price, we have that directly from the table. For average pizza price, we have to use a subquery to get that, right? And this is the subquery we are going to use, right? So let's just push this down a bit and let's see what we want now. So we want to select from same pizzas table, right? From pizzas. What do we want from pizzas? We want the pizza ID, pizza, underscore ID, right? We want that, comma. We want the size, as the question requires. We want the size, comma. We want the price as well. But then we want average pizza price and we can't get it directly, but we have a subquery. So what do we do? What do we do? We put our subquery here. We say, put it in a bracket. Your subquery always goes in a bracket. So I could say, oh, select, which is exactly what I have here, right? Select average price from pizzas. Select average price from pizzas. So this will give me my pizza ID, this will give me size, this will give me price, but this will give me this subquery here because it's a whole query on its own, right? As we've shown here, it's a whole query on its own, but it's going to give me the average pizza price, right? So let's just alias it a bit and call it as average price. Right, and I'm going to run this now. And we can see we have the pizza ID, the size, the price, and the average pizza price. Remember the average pizza price when we did it separately was 16.44. So we have pizza ID, size, price, average pizza price for each on each row. And that's subquery in the select statement. Very straightforward, not complicated at all. So in the next video, we will be looking at the second scenario, and that would be using a subquery in the from or after the from keyword. So it's going to be as simple as this one. It's nothing too complicated. So let's stay tuned and we'll try that out in the next video. Thank you.